Uh, Welcome to day 3 of wellness and longevity session. What a wonderful session, to be honest, Dinesh sir. I thoroughly again listened last 2 sessions, and I started implementing fasting. Instead of eating 3 times, slowly I have moved to this intermittent fasting. Last 3-4 days been doing this intermittent fasting, and I see the benefits already.
Excellent.
I already see the benefits. I mean, I'm little excited, but yes, that is the truth. And each of the pillars of this wellness and longevity, every pillar has got its own importance. And somehow I was like feeling that when we have this meditation as the main pillar, rest all the pillars also we will automatically implement. But I think they're all interdependent. When you so you can't leave anything. But we are so grateful to have you here on this platform and explaining in detail each pillar, and we see the depth of the each pillar. Thank you, and I will give the stage to you now to continue further remaining pillars. Yes, sir. Stage is all yours.
Uh, Thank you very much. And it's really great to know that you started implementing some steps on one of the pillars and are within only 4 to 5 days, you're already experiencing some benefits. The main thing to understand is that all these 8 pillars are all based on science, where science has proved that these pillars not only increase our health span, but they also increase our lifespan. And as they are all science-based, it is good to see where we can make some small changes. Meditation is the key because we are all focused on enlightenment. Meditation is what is going to give us enlightenment. However, making some small changes with the other 7 pillars will just keep us much healthier in a positive mindset, and it will actually all be complementary to meditation. So friends, I will now share my screen. So this is the final session on the pillars of wellness and longevity. My usual disclaimer, I'm not from the medical field, but whatever research I have done is based on scientists and medical professionals. I do appreciate that each individual is unique. So if you are going to make changes, if you feel the need, please do consult with your GP. We have looked at 5 pillars to date. Fasting is the best medicine. Eat to beat disease. Meditation, the longevity pill. Sleep, the silent healer. And breath, your superpower. Today, we look at the 6th pillar, which is move more, live more. We're going to start off with a poll question. And the question is, how much time do you spend doing exercise every week? Is it 60 minutes or less, which is 1 hour or less? Between 1 hour and 2 hours? Between 2 hours and 2.5 hours? Between 2.5 hours and 3 hours? Or more than 3 hours? So I will put the poll question on the screen. Would appreciate if everyone participated. 10 more seconds. I will end the poll and share the results. So 25% said 60 minutes, less, an hour or less. 50% said between 1 hour and 2 hours. And a further 25% said between 2 hours and 2.5 hours. Thank you, everyone. So what does Thich Nhat Hanh tell us about exercise? He says, when it comes to health and well-being, regular exercise is about as close to a magic potion as you can get. So now let us look at what the benefits of exercise are. The first thing is exercise can make you feel happier. Who doesn't love the rush of endorphins after a brisk walk? Endorphins are hormones that reduce pain and boost pleasure, creating a general well-being of positivity and good health. Endorphins also act as a natural painkiller and can ease long-term aches. Regular exercise can strengthen muscles, lessening chronic pain and risk of injury. Exercise can also help with weight loss. Exercise is crucial to supporting a healthy metabolism and burning more calories per day. It also helps you maintain your muscle mass and weight loss. Exercise is good for your muscles and bones. As people age, they tend to lose muscle mass and function, which can lead to an increased risk of injury. Practicing regular physical activity is essential to reducing muscle loss and maintaining strength as you age. Physical activity helps you build muscles and strong bones. It may also prevent osteoporosis. Exercise can increase your energy levels. Physical activity increases your heart and gets your blood flowing. More oxygen and nutrients to your muscles means higher energy. And although it seems odd that expending energy can actually give you more energy, science backs this claim up. Next time you're considering an extra cup of coffee to perk you up, try a walk instead. Exercise can reduce your risk of chronic disease. Lack of regular physical activity is a primary cause of chronic disease. Exercise can help reduce or prevent the following chronic diseases: type 2 diabetes, heart disease, many types of cancer, high cholesterol, hypertension. I did a study of 3 groups of people. First group was active 70-year-olds. The second group was inactive 70-year-olds. And the third group was active 40-year-olds. They found that active older men and women had comparable heart, lung capacity and muscle strength of those who were 30 years younger. So friends, it's never too late to start exercising regularly. What are the other benefits? Exercise can help your brain health and memory. Exercise can improve brain function and protect memory and thinking skills. Regular physical activity is especially important in older adults since aging, combined with oxidative stress and inflammation, promotes changes in brain structure and function. Exercise has been shown to cause the hippocampus, a part of the brain that's vital for memory and learning, to grow in size, which may help improve mental function in older adults. Lastly, exercise has been shown to reduce changes in the brain that contribute to conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia. Exercise can help with relaxation and sleep quality. Exercise can reduce stress and anxiety levels, leaving you feeling more relaxed and stabilized, which is a perfect zone for sleep. And while working out, you can also raise your body temperature and make you feel more alert throughout the day. It can also help you drift off better when your internal temperature starts to dip down. Exercise reduces pain. Although chronic pain can be debilitating, exercise can actually help reduce it. Exercise has favorable effects on the pain associated with various conditions. It can also increase pain tolerance. Exercise fights depression. Research shows that for mild or moderate cases of depression, exercise can be an effective treatment. Exercising increases your brain's sensitivity to serotonin, which eases feelings of depression. Exercise makes you more productive. Isaac Newton was onto something when he said, "Objects in motion stay in motion." With the pump of endorphins, rush of positivity, and increased energy, no wonder many people claim they feel more productive on days when they exercise. In Brigham Young University, they did a study. They looked at the DNA of 6,000 adults. And what did they find? They found that telomeres were longer in people who were active compared to those who were sedentary. And telomere length is very important in the field of aging. This correlated to a difference of 9 years in cellular aging. That is how much exercise can help us. What does Barack Obama tell us? He says, you have to exercise, or at some point you will just break down. And there is a very important anonymous quote which we probably need to ponder about. A 1-hour workout is just 4% of your day. 60 minutes is only 4% of 1,440 minutes that we have in a day. We are now going to go on to the second poll question. And I'm going to launch it. How much time do you spend sitting every day? Is it 3 to 5 hours? Is it 6 to 8 hours? Is it 9 to 12 hours? Or is it 13 to 15 hours? Ten more seconds. I will end the poll and share the results. So 40% said 3 to 5 hours, a further 40% said 6 to 8 hours, and 20% said 9 to 12 hours. We have a horrible habit that's killing us. We spend more time doing it than we spend time sleeping. What is this horrible habit? It is sitting. The problem is our bodies aren't designed to sit for hours. Our bodies are built for standing. During most of the last 2000 years, we hunted for food, we tended crops, spending almost all of our time standing on 2 feet. Fast forward to today, over 90% of our activities are done sitting down. We surf the web, we watch television, we drive cars, we ride in cars, taxis or public transport. We work for hours on end, all while sitting. Total it up, and we spend nearly 80% of our waking hours sitting. So much sitting is taking away the benefits of regular exercise. So even if you run for an hour, it may not be enough to undo the damage of sitting for 8 hours at a desk. Many healthcare professionals put it like this: does exercise take care of a bad night's sleep? Then why would it take care of sitting all day? So during the day, we are sitting at our laptops. In the evening, we are sitting in front of the telly watching Netflix. We spend nearly 80% of our waking hours sitting. The question is, are you sitting your way to health issues? Scientists have now said sitting is the new smoking. So what do studies tell us about sitting too much? In London, when we used to have bus conductors as well as bus drivers, London bus drivers had twice the rate of cardiovascular disease compared to bus conductors because they were just sitting all the time. Women who sat for more than 6 hours every day had a 37% increase in premature death. This is based on a study by the American Cancer Society. There is an Australian study which says watching television for more than 4 hours per day had an increased risk of death from cardiovascular disease by 80%. 18 studies covering 800,000 participants gave the result that those who sat the most were twice as likely to develop diabetes. Another study comparing 53,000 men and 69,000 women over 14 years gave the result: those who sat for more than 6 hours daily died earlier than their counterparts. So what is prolonged sitting a risk factor for? It is a risk factor for poor mental health, a risk factor for developing heart disease, developing high blood pressure, obesity, becoming disabled, developing blood clots, DVT, eating more, premature death, back pain, and osteoporosis. So the question is, what can we do to avoid sitting too much? The first thing we need to do is become aware of how much you are sitting and consciously take steps to change the situation. If you are at your desk all day, set a phone alarm every half an hour or an hour and take a couple of minutes to stand up and walk around. When taking calls, as most of us are still working from home, if possible, stand or walk away or walk slowly in the house or even in the garden. If you are watching television, when the commercial comes on, that's your alarm to stand up and walk around. Increase non-exercise activities, meaning just increase your physical movements throughout the day by taking a walk, running errands, etc. We now look at the next important concept, use it or lose it. If a person doesn't exercise their physical body, they will likely lose strength, stamina, and endurance. Age-related muscle loss, called sarcopenia, is a natural part of aging. After 30, we begin to lose as much as 3 to 5% per decade. Inactivity is associated with atrophy and a loss of muscle strength at a rate of 12% per week. After 3 to 5 weeks of bed rest, almost 50% of the muscle strength is lost. Disuse weakness is reversed just at a rate of 6% per week with exercise. Studies have demonstrated that even more significant loss occurs in older people. Whilst in some situations rest is beneficial, friends, movement is life. We now look at what the longest lived people in the world do. The longest lived people in the world do not drink protein shakes. They do not pump iron. They do not run marathons or join gyms. Instead, they live in environments that constantly nudge them into moving without thinking about it. Exercise is built into daily life. So let us remember, the longest lived people do not run marathons or join gyms. A 1 hour workout is just 4% of our day. We spend 80% of our waking hours sitting. So let us build movement in our daily life. We now go on to the 7th pillar, which is socialize to optimize. So what is one of the single most important factors discovered in the blue zones? Maintaining healthy relationships is critical to a long life. Think of the last time you spent time with family, friends, or people you care about. How did this make you feel? Being connected with people in your life helps you feel like you belong. It even helps you reduce stress, boosts your immune system, lowers your blood pressure, can lengthen your life. In fact, people with strong social support are usually happier, have better mental health, and feel a stronger sense of belonging in their community. We are living in the most connected time in human history. More than half the world now uses social media, which is 58.4%. 4.62 billion people around the world use social media. 424 million new users came online last year. The average daily time a person spends using social media is 2 hours and 27 minutes every day. However, the opposite is true. We are lonelier, more depressed, and anxious than ever. And people are turning to therapy and antidepressants to cope. Social media is a great idea only if we are using it to really connect with others. It can be harmful, especially when we look at other people's pictures of perfect holidays, relationships, and food that they are eating and feel down. Just look at these 3 photographs. Even when we are with people, with our loved ones, with our friends, we are glued to our smartphones on the social media. The next chart is a chart about self-reported loneliness among adults. Loneliness can affect everyone. Your body cares about your social needs because millions of years ago, it was a great indicator of how likely you were going to survive. Natural selection rewarded our ancestors for collaboration and for forming connections with each other. Our brains grew more and more fine-tuned to recognize what others thought and felt, and to form and sustain social bonds. Being social became part of our biology. You were born into groups of 50 to 150 people, which you usually stayed with for the rest of your life. Getting enough calories, staying safe and warm, or caring for offspring was practically impossible alone. Being together meant survival. Being alone meant death. So it was crucial that you got along with others. For your ancestors, the most dangerous threat to survival was not being eaten by a lion, but not getting the social vibe of your group and being excluded. Humans began building a new world for themselves. The loneliness epidemic that we see today really only started in the late Renaissance. Western culture began to focus on the individual. Intellectuals moved away from the collectivism of the Middle Ages. This trend accelerated during the Industrial Revolution. People left their villages and fields to enter factories. Communities that had existed for hundreds of years began to dissolve, whilst cities grew. As our world rapidly became modern, this trend sped up more and more. Today, we move vast distances for new jobs, love, education, and leave our social net behind. We meet fewer people in person and we meet them less often than in the past. In the US, the mean number of close friends dropped from 3 in 1985 to just 2 in 2011. Most people stumble into chronic loneliness by accident. You reach adulthood and become busy with work, university, romance, kids, and Netflix. There is just not enough time. The most convenient and easy thing to do is to sacrifice time with friends. Until you wake up one day and you realize that you feel isolated, that you yearn for close relationships, but it's hard to find close relationships as adults, and so loneliness becomes chronic. Loneliness does not discriminate on age, gender, or borders. It happens all over the world. Money, fame, power, beauty, social skills, a great personality, nothing can protect you against loneliness because it's part of your biology. Loneliness is a bodily function like hunger. Hunger makes you pay attention to your physical needs. Loneliness makes you pay attention to your social needs. The human being is a social animal. Our bodies and minds are fundamentally the same they were 50,000 years ago, we are still biologically fine-tuned to being with each other. So what are the health risks of loneliness? There is an increased risk of premature death from all causes, a risk like those of smoking, obesity, and physical inactivity. There is a 50% increased risk of dementia. There is a 29% increased risk of heart disease. There is a 32% increased risk of stroke. There are higher rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide. Loneliness amongst heart failure patients was associated with a nearly 4 times increased risk of death, 68% increased risk of hospitalization, and 57% increased risk of emergency department visits. So the crux of the matter is loneliness is one of the fastest ways to age. And what does Dr. Vivek Murthy say, a former Surgeon General of the US? He says, loneliness and weak social connections are associated with a reduction in lifespan, similar to that caused by smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So what can we do about loneliness? One is self-care. We need to become friends with our own selves and set a good daily routine. We need to show compassion. We need to talk to people, get in touch with friends by meeting up or through phone or social media. Start opening up, sharing about yourself. Find your tribe. Look for people who share common interests and ideas. Reach out to social services, local services that can help you connect with new people, communities, and professional help. What we need is more social and less media. Friends, we now move on to the final pillar. Find purpose, find fulfillment. We diet, we count steps, we pop supplements, we hope for a miracle immortality treatment. Yet, although diet and exercise are certainly vital for health, science shows that there is another longevity ingredient we often overlook, and that is finding purpose. Boosting our sense of meaning in life is an often overlooked longevity ingredient. Accruing evidence suggests that finding a purpose for your life may add years to it. Research reveals that people who believe their existence has meaning have lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol and more favorable gene expression related to inflammation. One study found that if a 90-year-old with a clear purpose in life develops Alzheimer's disease, that person will probably keep functioning relatively well despite real pathological changes in the brain. Another meta-analysis of 10 studies involving 136,000 people found that having purpose in life can lower your mortality risk by 17%, as much as following the famed Mediterranean diet. So in the blue zones, purpose has always played a major role in well-being and the resulting extreme longevity. In Okinawa, the Okinawans say ikigai, and Costa Ricans say plan de vida. Having a purpose in life has been nominated consistently as an indicator of healthy aging. So just let's look at the Okinawans. They live longer and happier lives because they know their reason for waking up. Some of the examples include the dance teacher. He says, my reason to get up in the morning is to watch my students improve at the dance school. The horse trainer says, my ikigai is taking on responsibility for the horses I look after and the people I have contact with. The grandmother, what is she looking forward to? I do not have any siblings, but I have many grandchildren. Seeing them and having them visit is what ikigai is for me. The craftsman says, when I see that my customers are happy, I am happy. The boxer says, to be the world champion, not just for me, but for my team, that is my ikigai. So life with a purpose is fulfilling. A life with purpose has meaning. A life with purpose provides motivation and focus. It helps you grow and be successful, helps mental and physical health. Having a strong sense of purpose is associated with longer, happier lives. Friends, I will now recap the 8 pillars that we have looked at. The human body is one of the most extraordinary healing and regenerating systems that nature has ever produced. Survival mode turns the longevity gene on. Your DNA is not your destiny, your lifestyle is. You have more control over your own aging than you may imagine. The first pillar was fasting is the best medicine. We saw that fasting helps you enjoy the benefits of autophagy as a cellular mechanism of rejuvenation. Fasting is linked to longevity. You need fasting to upregulate the mechanism against aging. Extending the overnight fast is easy and effective without adverse effect. The second pillar we saw was eat to beat disease. Dr. Esselstyn tells us, once you start eating plant-based foods, you make yourself heart attack proof. Dan Buettner about the blue zone says, the longest lived people eat a plant-based diet. Now, the important part of the quote is now, because all of us are vegetarians. He says, nothing they eat has a wrapper. They don't eat any processed foods. The question we need to ask ourselves is, are we feeding health or are we fueling disease? The other question we need to ask ourselves is, if it is from a plant, eat it. If it is made in a plant, skip it. Food turns genes on or off. The third pillar that we looked at is meditation, the longevity pill. How you think can affect how you feel, and how you feel can affect your thinking. Stress is responsible for up to 90% of all diseases. Experienced meditators have found to have smaller amygdalas. Meditators produced about 40% more telomerase. Meditators' sirtuin-1 levels, that is the longevity genes, were boosted by a massive 52%. We look at the fourth pillar, sleep, the silent healer. Sleep is not an optional lifestyle luxury. Sleep is a non-negotiable biological necessity. It is a life support system. It is Mother Nature's best effort yet at contra death. The fifth pillar we looked at is breath, your superpower. The breath is always with us. It is the most effective calming tool, and it is free. The secret of life is right under your nose. Oprah tells us, breathe, let go, and remind yourself that this very moment is the only one you know you have for sure. James Nestor tells us, no matter what we eat, how much we exercise, how resilient our genes are, how skinny or young or wise we are, none of it will matter unless we are breathing correctly. The nose is for breathing, the mouth is for eating. A deep, full inhale, a slow, long exhale. This is the key to longevity. The sixth pillar that we looked at is move more, live more. Longest people do not run marathons or join gyms. 1 hour workout is only 4% of our day. We spend 80% of our waking hours sitting. Let us build movement in our daily life. The seventh pillar we looked at is socialize to optimize. Meaningful relationships are a prescription for better emotional, mental, and physical health. There aren't any side effects to spending quality time with the people you care about and cultivating new relationships. The human being is a social animal. Being connected with people in your life reduces stress, boosts your immune system, lowers your blood pressure, and can lengthen your life. And the final pillar that we looked at is find purpose, find fulfillment. People who believe their existence has meaning have lower levels of stress hormone. Having a purpose in life has been nominated consistently as an indicator of healthy aging. Finding a purpose for your life may add years to it. Having purpose in life can lower your mortality risk by 17%, about as much as following the famed Mediterranean diet. So friends, those were the 8 pillars of wellness and longevity. So thank you very much. And if anyone has got anything to share, please feel free to unmute yourself and feel free to turn on your video. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, sir. What a wonderful session. Another wonderful session. One question I have about move more and live more.
Yes.
Do you recommend yoga, or do you recommend the other exercises like going to the gym and doing that? What do you recommend? Because
So,
in yoga you have more awareness, and it also works on internal organs, and whereas the gym, it is also good, it will improve the strength. I have tried gym for about 6 months, and I have seen the benefits as well, like it was like 2 to 3 years ago. So what do you what, I mean, your research, what does it say?
so yoga is very important because of it brings awareness. It also brings stability, and it obviously gives good movement to the body. Some strength exercises I think are necessary. I don't literally mean that we have to go to the gym, but some strength exercises are very important as we age, because as we age, the rate of muscle loss is quite high. So I think we should probably do a mix of both yoga and some strength exercises. So even the strength exercises can be done at home. There is not really a great need to go to the gym, but if people are going or can go, then that would not be a bad idea. We can do maybe yoga every day, 15-20 minutes, and then maybe half an hour of gym or strength exercises 3 to 4 days a week.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And also about this loneliness, I think meditation is the best solution I found, because I remember before meditation, when I was, even though I just completed my graduation, then I used to feel, so lonely, and I used to feel depressed. But ever since I started meditation, I want to be, alone now, right? So I want to practice. I can utilize more time meditating if nobody is around. So I feel that meditation can really, really help those who feel loneliness. For me now, I feel like, if somebody locks me in a room and nobody around, it's really beneficial for me, so that, I can do hours of meditation together. Yeah.
So that is really, really very nice to know, because our soul in our scriptures is Sat Chit Anand. So Sat meaning it's a truth, the world is false, the body is false, the world is false. Sat Chit meaning it is knowledge itself. And Anandrup means it is fulfilled. Then there is no loneliness left. So if you meditate, you experience that Anandrup, that blissful state of our own self, our true being. And yeah, you're exactly and totally right. Meditation is probably the best solution to loneliness. Agreed.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. Friends, if anyone has any questions, please raise your hands, and or maybe directly unmute yourself and share your feedback. And this is really a wonderful session, to be honest. These three parts, the fasting benefits, this autophagy, I was really experiencing it now, because last week I was not really keeping well, and I realized that, the food is also kind of adding the fuel to the, that ill health. And the moment I stopped eating 3 times a day, I have seen the benefits clearly. And also, it also helped me for doing more meditation. I wanted to do this whole night meditation. I mean, I have done already 2 times with this Kudakesha team, and this time around I couldn't do it. But when I ate less, I could do it easily. So I can clearly say that, it definitely works, the fasting. Thank you, sir. Yeah, friends, if anyone has any questions, please unmute yourself and talk to sir. Yeah. I'll give a few more seconds. Right. I think it's very clear, and I can see many of the participants are happy receiving this wisdom, and I'm sure they are expressing the gratitude. Thank you, sir. And we should come up with some other, series with you, sir. And if possible, maybe after this,
That's fine.
summer holidays here in the UK, right? So many of them may be going to, their home country. So let us again come up with something, a new series from you. Is it? Yeah. If you have any concept in mind, please let us know.
We will do something spiritual now.
Yes, yes. And this session as well had spiritual
Yes,
aspects.
yes.
Yeah, but yeah, the more spiritual is also important, and this is, and to go into the deeper state of spirituality, I think some of these pillars are very, very important. Yeah, so they are like interdependent. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And friends, if nobody has any questions, let us end the call. Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone.